Hey everybody, my name is Kalle Slaap, watchmaker from the Netherlands, and this time generic watch parts. A very interesting and urgent discussion with no easy answers, but I'll try to give you a bit of context, a bit of more information, so you can make up your mind yourself. Because generic watch parts, is it still original? That answer will surprise you. Is it ethical? Is it desirable? Is it any good quality? Every single step I'll try to give you a bit more information and the pros and cons, because it is quite a balance, I think, with the quality and the supply of generic watch parts. First things first, what are we talking about? Cheers everybody. Generic watch parts are parts that fit into a watch movement but are not supplied by the manufacturer. With car parts, it's been for many years in car batteries, exhaust pipes, tires, rims, all stuff like that. When you convert your American muscle car to a Hemi, for example, um, does that affect the quality? Maybe it raises the quality. Does it affect the originality? Sometimes, but it might raise the value as well. Same with, I have to look for my words. Let's talk about the Swiss watch parts first. The Swiss watch industry. It is the biggest, and we're here in the Netherlands, in Western Europe, so very close to home. Generic watch parts, not supplied by the producer of a movement. First things first, the Swiss watch industry is just being run by lawyers and the marketing department with loads of managers wielding spreadsheets and stuff. So they say generic watch parts, rubbish, crap. If you use them, we cannot guarantee the quality of the watch anymore, because we all make our own watch parts. Yes, they say they do. No, they don't. No, they don't. And that's why if mainsprings, balance springs, winding stems, crystals, the jewels, no, they don't make them themselves. Just a few watch manufacturers are manufacture and make all parts themselves. Hardly any. So, generic watch parts, it fits to a specific movement. If you order sights, jewels, or a balance staff from DCN or Ronda, they were probably the original manufacturer anyway. Trust me. So if you replace it and it's not from a specific brand, but they got it from the same source, you can call it generic, but the quality is exactly the same as the original because they weren't producing it anyway. No far-fetched scenario. It really is is like this. Same with watch crystals, for example, all from the same source. So, is it original? Most of the generic watch parts aren't. Simple as that. They are being produced, but they can be from the exact same source. Do your homework. I cannot give you a list of all the manufacturers now. But mainsprings, jewels, crystals, winding stems, it's safe to say that they are usually a reliable source, excellent quality, balanced staffs. If we go back a decade ago, when I was starting as a professional watchmaker in my first workshop, the quality of generic watch parts was abysmal. It was horrible. And I'll tell you straight away. I thought I'd tell you in a moment, but I'll do it straight away. Because, and that is when generic watch parts got their bad name. And rightly so, I must say. I will show you under the microscope. There. There we go. There we are. Now you're watching with me, that's the camera, through my microscope. And this is how we do the live streams as well. Here you see some springs. Springs, very delicate watch part, especially over there. They tend to break. Generic watch parts is almost per definition parts that are prone to break or wear out. Otherwise you don't have to produce them. The problem with at least 10 years ago is sometimes still. So that's why there's no easy answer. Generic parts are worse than the original because they can be exactly the same as original. But here, this is for me a good example to show you. For example, a spring like this. Why it is impossible to say about the quality is there are two things about a spring. The shape, because it has to fit to a specific movement, but the function as well. And that means the base material, is it proper steel or the proper alloy or brass, or well, this is steel. And then the heat treatment, because you can make a watch part in exactly this shape, but the function is the spring action. If the tempering, the heat treatment isn't done right and it's way too soft, the spring will just move to one position and no pressure back. If it's way too hard and there's just a tiny sweet spot when a spring is excellent, that's why we have a hardness tester here, because it has to be spot on. If it's too hard, it will break immediately, just like glass. So two things, and that is where the Chinese watch industry is still lacking experience, quality. You can make a watch part in exactly this shape, mostly done CNC, so press a button and 10,000 springs will come out. But then it's still not a proper watch part, because it has to have the exact pressure, tension for that spring to work. And that is where generic watch parts got their bad name, because the quality just wasn't up to par. If we have, yeah, there we are, just wasn't up to par. You can make a watch part in the right shape, but you need knowledge, skill, experience to make it in an excellent functioning watch part. Two completely different things. So no, not all generic watch parts are of good quality. And again, I cannot give you a list of manufacturers that are excellent or not. Some Indian from India were horrible, then became excellent even under the microscope, and then become horrible again. So no, I cannot give you a list of suppliers. You have to, sorry to say, order it. Order at least 3. So one you can break. Simple, if you have a balance staff, break off the pivots. We have pivots here. You can just bend. Maybe you've seen it on the Omega pocket watch from 1925. I did it on a live stream. The pivots were like that. If a pivot is a hardened steel, it's completely, you cannot bend hardened steel, it just breaks. So the heat treatment was crap. So you have to test it yourself. Sorry, cannot change that. And try to communicate with other watchmakers or part-time watchmakers, other about experience. And I cannot give you a list of suppliers, sorry about that. But it is essential, just test the watch part. Is it ethical to use generic watch parts? A resounding yes, if you are honest to your client. Communicate with the client. Watch part is broken. We cannot get the original one. Would you mind if you use generic of excellent quality? And you don't see any difference, not even under a microscope, but it is supplied in another packet, not with a logo of the original maker, but with no logo. Be open about it, and usually there is a huge price difference between the original and generic. If you can obtain original, yeah, please do. If there's none left, yeah, and if generic watch parts is the only way to get the watch, the movement in excellent condition again, well, there's hardly any choice, is there? As long as you're honest. Is it desirable? In a perfect world, I had a huge head of hair. Uh, in a perfect world, we can order any watch part at any time. But we're not living in a perfect world. Maybe you've seen the stream about the right to repair. Maybe it's nice to have a look on our YouTube channel, Chronoglide, to the video, The Right to Repair. If it's simply not supplied, all the watch parts, because they all want to have a monopoly, they want to charge insane prices. No, it's not desirable, but needed sometimes. And then again, generic doesn't have to mean it is of lesser quality. Not by any means. So quality, you have to test yourself. Ethical, ask your client, do you mind? You have to be open about it. That's the best way to go. Original, yeah, it can even be original, because most supply of manufacturers don't make all the parts themselves, and the original source of that factory can supply parts as well. So you have to do your homework. I hope it makes sense. I hope it is helpful that even using specific generic watch parts, it can still be original. sides jewels, winding stems, mainsprings. Why not? So try to help each other, communicate, share experience, knowledge sharing, and I think that generic watch parts, the quality is, the improvement is staggering, and if it's the way forward to make a vintage movement run perfectly again, why not? And for the Swiss industry is forcing an independent watchmaker in this position and is the catalyst. I really do mean this. The Swiss watch industry is the actual catalyst for the production of generic watch parts. If they would supply any parts, it won't be any problem. So they are very negative about generic parts in anyway, all of them. But there's more to that story than they are willing to share. Trust me. Again, I hope this is helpful. My name is Kalle Slaap, independent watchmaker in the Netherlands, and that's why this particular topic is very close to my heart. Yeah, you can still repair watches with generic watch parts in an excellent condition, as long as the watch parts are the perfect quality, and that you have to test yourself. And yeah, if there are any questions, please leave them in the comments. I read every single one of them. If you have suggestions for future topics, if you agree, or especially if you don't agree, please let me know why, and maybe this topic is a bit more well, acute for now in the moment here in Western Europe, but maybe in America it is the same. So please let me know your thoughts, and next time I'm at the moment I'm doing the homework or a stream about what's the real meaning of Swiss made. That's a story in itself. I do hope you enjoy these videos. Please let me know what you're thinking, and if you do, hit the like button. Hey, see you soon. See ya. Bye bye.